Well, it's your boy, J Snip 4. And put these back over here. Looks like one of the Democratic aides might be in a little bit of trouble. Daily Caller presents. Try that again. Daily Caller presents. Self-righteous Democratic staffer headed to prison as prosecutors look to make example of him for politically motivated crimes. Yeah, I'll be honest. And then I'll read it in a second. Staffers. That's a start. That's a start. How about government employees? James Comey, Baker, Peter Stroke, Stroke Man, Lisa Page. Did I mention James Comey? How about Mueller? How about some of these Democrats? The shifts out there. The Pelosi's. There's some people, we got some dirt on these people. Nope. How about Hillary Clinton? No, at least not yet. But again, if old Snip knows what he thinks he knows. Donald Trump, we got a year till the next election, a little more than a year. Donald Trump's already doing his thing. I think we might see some big trouble for little Democrats. As we get closer to the election, he's going to play his hand flawlessly. It will be a flawless victory. A former Democratic congressional aide who doxed Republican senators during a confirmation hearing for Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh will be sentenced to prison come Wednesday. Former computer administrator Jackson Costco carried out what prosecutors said was the largest known data theft in Senate history and used it to blackmail a witness, to plot to extort a senator, and to threaten others. He left operational spy devices. Oh, see, this is something we don't know that we knew. He left operational spy devices on the Senate network that went undetected by police, even after he was arrested and his plot was discovered, prosecutors said. Prosecutors are seeking to make an example out of Costco for criminally attacking people who disagreed with him politically, citing a rise in such incidents. Oh, you mean like just about all liberal Democrats do? They attack the other side. Gotcha. Just checking. A former aide to Senator Maggie Hassan and Representative Sheila Jackson Lee is headed to prison Wednesday for what prosecutors said was the largest known data theft in Senate history. Wow. The former aide, Jackson Costco, pleaded guilty in April to crimes related to an unparalleled effort to ransack a Senate office, extorting a Democratic senator, illegally harming Republicans for their political views, and blackmailing a witness. Prosecutors asked for nearly 5 years in prison for Costco, a one-time congressional IT aide to Hassan. Costco admitted he stole the New Hampshire Democrats' data out of revenge for being fired, then used it to dox Republicans during the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. Quote, the government believes that a significant sentence would help to make clear the difference of political opinion, or that difference of political opinion, do not entitle people to engage in politically motivated criminal attacks threatening elected officials with whom he disagrees, and would thereby encourage respect for the law and deter future criminal conduct, prosecutors wrote. New details emerged in their sentencing memo that made the case of Costco, the Bernie Sanders supporting son of a millionaire San Francisco developer, liberal Democrat, San Francisco developer with ties to California Senator, guess who? Get ready, it's going to be real shocking. Dianne Feinstein and Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Even more shocking. A second Hassan staffer, who was friends with Costco, served as his accomplice in exchange for rent money, helped him physically break into the office at night and pilfer internal emails, even after he was fired, prosecutors' sentencing memos show. After someone gets fired, will someone please tell me how in the hell you can walk right back into the house or wherever, or which office are you talking about? Like in the house or one of these little office buildings that some of these congressmen and senators rent, like in your local town? What are we talking here? Not that it really matters. The Daily Caller News Foundation first reported that the accomplice, who has since been fired, is Samantha DeForest Davis. And Hassan's office subsequently confirmed her identity, yet DeForest Davis has not been charged with any crime. Even after Costco was arrested and a computer was quarantined, Capitol Police and Senate employees did not realize that keylogger devices were plugged into many of the office's computers, according to prosecutors. The devices continued to beam every keystroke, including passwords to personal and business accounts, over a Wi-Fi signal that could be accessed from the public hallway. The Senate later realized that it was still being spied on only because Costco informed government agents of the devices, the memo says. Police still have been unable to detect the device's Wi-Fi signals, making it impossible to rule out that they aren't plugged in elsewhere in Congress. Prosecutors said Costco had self-righteous entitlement. Well, that kind of reminds me of every liberal Democrat I've ever met. And their policies: entitlement, welfare, entitlement. Bring the Mexican and immigrants over the border and other South American immigrants over the border. Give them free health care. Give them free stuff, and you're going to pay for it. Especially you people in California. Democrats, entitlements. Democrats, entitlements. Democrats, entitlements. Republicans, we got to foot the bill. Prosecutor said he had self-righteous entitlement in a belief that he could violate the sanctity of the United States Senate at will and threaten individual senators as he pleased. He wanted to use the stolen data to punish people who disagreed with his politics by publishing the personal information of Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, Orrin Hatch, Mike Lee, Rand Paul, and Mitch McConnell, the memo says, which noted that Costco laughed about his actions. Prosecutors said his case must be a deterrent to what they said are rising politically motivated attacks. The defendant operated under the belief that he was entitled to inflict emotional distress upon United States senators and their families simply because they disagreed with the defendant and had different political views, prosecutors wrote. The government believes that there appears to have been an increase in similar criminal harassment, particularly through social media channels, by people across the political spectrum. In a sentencing memo, prosecutors described a months-long series of burglaries and sophisticated data theft offenses directed at the office of United States Senator Maggie Hassan to a separate set of doxing offenses through which he maliciously released personal information of Senators Lindsey Graham, Orrin Hatch, Mike Lee, and Rand Paul, along with Mitch McConnell, and to obstruction of justice because he attempted to silence a witness by threatening to release the private health information of a senator's children because he corrupted another person and persuaded her to attempt to wipe down the scene of his burglaries, and because he attempted to destroy evidence in his own apartment. Prosecutors dismissed arguments by Costco's team of attorneys that drugs were behind the defendant's behavior and that high-end counseling and treatment paid for by his parents could cure it. They said Costco's behavior was premeditated and deliberate, and that he took pleasure in learning of Republicans' pain. Prosecutors said Costco laughed. Aha, it ruined Hatch's wife's birthday. Haha. Contest of who do you want me to dox next? YouTube, Twitter. That's what his little note says. Note found in Jackson Costco's apartment. Hassan hired Costco as an IT administrator, entrusted with access to all of the computer systems and data in the senator's office, even though he had a prior criminal record, prosecutors said. In May of 2018, he was terminated for performance-related reasons that Hassan has declined to explain. Prosecutor said he continued to be angry about his termination for months and took advantage of his in-depth knowledge of the office's computer security measures and practices, engaged in an extensive computer fraud and data theft scheme that he carried out by repeatedly burglarizing Senator Hassan's office. Now, I'm just going to say, 4 years? He's only getting 4 years? 4 years. Oh, good behavior. He's opting too. What? The defendant ultimately copied entire network drives, sorted and organized sensitive data, and explored ways to use that data to his benefit, they continued. This is one jabroni. This is a freaking jabroni. Do you think, the deep state controlling the FBI, the deep state controlling the CIA, the NSA, whatever entities, you don't think they have far more private information on these people? All people, as in all senators, all Congress, all everybody. And when they need to get something done, they just send you a little manila envelope. Hey, we need you to vote yes on Friday. One of his aims was to extort Hassan's office into giving him a positive job reference and finding out whether it had given him bad references. Regardless, Texas Democrat Jackson Lee hired him anyway. Now, isn't Jackson Lee the same lady who Q has posted a picture with her pedophile ring on, the little pedo symbol? Let me double check. Democrat Jackson Lee, pedo ring. Oh, yep. Oh. Sheila. That's her. Sheila Jackson Lee is a Democrat and currently professing advanced knowledge of Rosenstein's firing. Anons noticed Sheila pedophile ring, and Q confirmed she is part of the sick club. Someone posted this on Twitter on May 3rd, 2019. I knew it because I already read something similar, but even before that. So she, of all people, hired him anyways. Despite the criminal record and termination from Hassan's office. The job was unpaid, a lifestyle apparently made possible by Costco's parents' wealth, but it gave him access to the house computer network, which he used to continue his data theft and extortion. The defendant broke into Senator Hassan's office on at least 4 occasions, including on or about July 26th. Some other times number. The defendant gained access to Senator Hassan's office by unlawfully obtaining keys from Subject A, a staffer who was, at the time, employed in the office. The defendant obtained and took dozens of means of identification, including login credentials belonging to at least 6 employees of the office of Senator Hassan. That is, his conduct constituted numerous instances of identity theft. Again, 4 years. He's getting 4 years. The defendant also surreptitiously installed keylogger devices on at least 6 computers in Senator Hassan's office, which were designed to be unobstructive, legitimate-looking devices that would go unnoticed by the individuals that were using the affected computers. The devices were designed to record the keystrokes that Senate staffers typed into their Senate-owned computers, including the keystrokes that comprised usernames, passwords, as well as personal email accounts. Then, during the confirmation hearings of now Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, Costco, used his House computer to post the stolen personal information of Republicans on the Senate Judiciary Committee to Wikipedia. After Kentucky Republican Rand Paul, who was the victim of a physical assault and had been shot at, demanded accountability for the mysterious doxer, Costco targeted Paul and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell with the intent to intimidate them, posting their personal addresses and phone numbers, knowing that others would use the information to harass them. Again, that's what I heard, 4 years. We were seeking 5. We'd like 5 years. Maybe he did a little bit of a plea deal. Maybe Costco agreed to some type of plea deal. I'll take 4 or 5 years in exchange for telling me who put me up to this. Oh, Miss Sheila Lee Jackson? Yeah, listen, let me tell you about her. Oh, Mrs. Pelosi? Let me tell you about her. Oh, Dianne Feinstein? Let me tell you something about her. Oh, let me tell you some other things that you guys may not even know. in exchange for, instead of a 20-year sentence, you'll give me like 4 or 5 years. Go ahead. Spill the beans. Take care.